नित्यं प्रभवतु अनेकधानुग्रहाय प्रक्षीणक्लेशराशिर्विषमविषधरो अनेकवक्त्रसुभोगी सर्वज्ञानप्रसूतिर्भुजगपरिकरा प्रीतये यस्य नित्यं देवो हि सः सोऽव्यात् स्थितविमलतनुर्योगतो योगयुक्तः Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently bow your head down. Bring yourself to the class. Prepare yourself for the session. When you're ready, gently lift your head up. Open your eyes. Extend. Namo Namaha. Hari Om. We will listen to the chanting for the first 15 sutras, chapter 1, and then we will progress.
Om Samadhipada Atta Yoga Nushasanam Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha Tada Drashtu Swarupe Avasthanam Pitri Sarupyam Mitaratra Vrittayaha Panchatayaha Krishta Krishta Pranamana Viparyaya Vikarpa Nidra Smritayaha Pratyaksha Anumanagamaha Pramanani Viparyayo Mityajannam Atadrupa Pratishtam Shaptajananupati Vastu Shunyo Vikarpa Abhava pratyaya lambana vitri nitra anubhuta vishaya asampramosha smriti abhyasa vairagyavyam tannirodha tatra stito yatno abhyasa Sato dirghakara nairantarya tatkara sevito dridabhumi drishtanushravika vishaya vitrushnasya vashikara sanja vairagyam. And that's it for the 15th verse.
Very nice. Very nice. Good. Now we will continue with you from 16th sutra onwards. 15 more sutras for the next session. Yes. So we will begin with the discussion on the niyamas. Which are the yamas we saw in the previous session?
Ahimsa, Satya, Asteya, Brahmacharya, Aparigraha.
So then there is a question, why there is a need for 32, Sutra 32? Both of them would have been called as Yamaha. Why there is a need of Niyama? There could have been 10 Yamahas. 10 Yamas altogether. Why Niyama? Because we see the... Yes, you have an answer? See, we have to ask these questions. Okay, we asked our teachers. So why they look similar, then why they are called niyamas, or why both were not called niyamas and one was called yamaha? So if you look at the yamas, they work on the exterior transactions with the world, and niyamas are antaranga as compared to the yamas. So let's see, what does the sutra say? For niyama specifically, we can say janma hetu kami dharma nirvatya moksha hetu nishkame dharmi niyamanti prekshayanti iti niyamaha, which means the one who takes the seeker towards moksha, for the first time, the thought of not wanting anything, or first time, the thought of not being bonded but freedom comes with the niyamas. So, yama, what did we see? Indriya samyam, karma indriya samyam. Niyamas, jnana indriya. Karma indriya and jnana indriya. Where are they covered? In the yamas and niyamas. So, the sutra here says, please chant after me. Shaucha santosha
Santosha
tapaha svadhyaya
Swadhyaya
ishvara pranidhanani niyamaha.
Ishvara
Pranidhanani niyama.
Shaucha santosha tapaha svadhyaya ishvara pranidhanani niyamaha. Uttamam. Let's see the bhashyam. Tatra shaucham mrujjaladijanitam medhamya varnina nadi cha bhahyam. Shaucham. First, there is explanation about shaucha. What is shaucha? Shuchati anena iti shaucha. Shuchati anena iti shaucha. Shaucha shabda, the word shaucha in Sanskritam comes from shucha dhatu. Shucha, which means shoka, or feeling of deep deprivation, loss, sorrow. Where it comes from? Shucha dhatu. Shaucha. Shoka karna. If these are not followed, what state we are into? Deep misery. So, shucha dhatu makes the word shaucha. And shuchati anena iti shauchaha. So, one which purifies and cuts the bonds that bring misery are the ones which are discussed under the category of shaucha. And what does the first line say? Tatra shaucham mrujjala, that is water and earth. Dijanitam medya bhojana, that is the food, our interaction with the five elements externally, that is cleansing the body through element water, element earth, and internally, how is shaucha? Through food. Although these may seem to be very gross on the surface, their effects are realized as very, very subtle. So internally, shaucha begins with food, what we are partaking. So when we say that I am taking care of complete hygiene, choice in the food I eat, with discipline, I am practicing shaucha, because food is the means for internal body cleansing, which is the means for antarik shaucha. Bahir shaucha you can do with the mud and water, but antarik shaucha, what is the means? Food, what you eat is the means for antarik shaucha. That is one first kind of shaucha. There is one more kind of shaucha, chitta malam, which removes or purifies the chitta. That also falls under the category of shaucha. So make notes wherever I say. Chitta malam. Chitta malam alakshanam. Abhyantara shaucha. First is bahaya shaucha, exterior shaucha, exterior purification. And second is abhyantara, internal shaucha. Chitta malam akshalanam. What is Chittamala? Mada, Garva, Man, Asuya, Adi, Chittamalam. Egoism, laziness, I-ness, and so on. Lust, anger, all of these are known to be Chittamalam. So Shaucha is two-way, says this, and calls Medabhya Varanadi cha Bahyam Abhyantaram Chittamalanam Alakshanam iti. Santoshah Sannihita Sadhanadi Adhikaryassu Paditsaha. It says, next, after Shaucha comes Santosha. So what is Shaucha? First is Bhaya and Abhyantara. Bhaya, element, and internally, Antarik Shaucha, Chittamala. Chittamala is removed or to be removed. Then Santosha. What is Santosha?
Contentment.
Satisfaction.
Whatever I have received or whatever I have gained in life, developing respect towards it is Santosha or contentment. What is contentment? What I already have with me, developing respect towards it is Santosha. Santoshah Sannihita Sadhanadi Kasyanu Paditsaha. इच्छा से शून्य होना और प्राप्त में आदर होना. इच्छा से शून्य होना, नो डिजायर्स इन द हार्ट, संतोष. और क्या है? जो प्राप्त है उसमें आदर है. I have developed a deep sense of respect to all the objects I own or people who are in my life. That is contentment or santosh. So along with respect for what I have, my mind is not desirous anywhere else. Both when they are together, that state is known as santosha, absolute content. This is the second niyama, santosha, after shaucha. Tapo dvanda sahanam, dvandascha jigatsa pipaso shitoshne sthanasne kashtamona karamone cha. Next niyama is tapaha. What is tapa? Definition of tapa? Like shuchati anena iti shaucha. Similarly for tapaha, tapo dvanda sahanam. Chant after me. Tapo dvanda sahanam.
Tapodvandva sahanam.
Tapo dvandva sahanam. Enduring dualities, pairs of opposites is dvandva. And there are three kinds of tapa which are elaborated. So tapa is one of the biggest niyamas which has been spoken about. First, dvanda sahanam. Which dvanda? Dvanda means duality. Kaik, at the level of body. What are the dualities, contradictions at the level of body which bring uneasiness to the mind? Yes, feeling of hot and cold. Then after that, pranik dvanda. What is pranik dvanda? Hunger and thirst. And finally, manasika dvanda. Sukha dukha, happiness and sorrow. Kaik, pranik, manasik. In the manasik, vacha also comes. Suffering with words. Words have an impact on mind. So first part of tapaha is Dvanda sahanam. When you say I am in tapas, I'm doing tapa. It also means, when we are in tapa, it also means that we are practicing dvanda sahanam, tapa, enduring my own body. First, enduring the suffering from my own body. Ultimately moving towards enduring dualities at the level of mind. And which are those? Only two. Happiness and sorrow. There is no other experience. People long for or have attachments to both. Some people continue to be in suffering. They have developed an attachment with it. Some people continue to be in happiness without realizing happiness also brings suffering with it. Absence of the object which makes you happiness itself is suffering. So there is constant, never-ending loop of happiness and suffering, hunger and thirst. No matter how much food you eat in a day, next time, again tomorrow you're going to feel hungry. Never sit here. And hunger and thirst, along with that, cold and hot. So the sensation of extreme cold or extreme warmth, any changes in those sensations bring you the feeling of discomfort. All these three pair bring us discomfort on the yogic path. So what do yogis do? They either meditate in extreme hot conditions and extreme cold conditions. They do both. It's not that a yogi only sits in the Himalayas. One who is in the Himalayas comes down to the deserts, and one who are in the desert, cyclic, they also go to the Himalayas as per the season. Now next kind of tapaha. Let's see. The sutra says, Kashta maunakara maunecha sthanasane, Kashta maunakara maunecha sthanasane, sitting steady. How sitting steady? In mauna, in silence. How sitting steady in silence? 4 types of silence have been discussed here. Let's see. 4 types of mauna. How do you do this? First, you begin with vaka samyama. Vaka is speech, control over speech, awareness of the speech. We cannot directly enter the state of silence. What is required for that first? Moderation and awareness of what we are speaking. What is the quality of our speech? After vak samyama, then vang mauna for 5 hours. Slowly you start not speaking for 5 hours. You may be listening, you may be doing other things, but you choose only not to speak at least 4 to 5 hours a day. So from vak samyama, vanga maunam, B, category B under mauna. Then this sutra says kashta mauna. What is kashta mauna? You're not speaking, but actions like writing are allowed. Kashta mauna. That's a type of mauna known as kashta mauna, where you only don't speak, but you're listening and you're writing. So these greatest of scriptures were written how? In kashta mauna. All the greatest of scriptures, whenever you undertake any translation or writing of any scripture, you have to follow kashta mauna. And after kashta mauna, last category, antar mauna or akar mauna. No actions also allowed. Absolute refrain from any kind of senses engagement. Absolute silence. The Upanishads say then, maunena balena tishtati. Then your mauna or silence is fruitful. We cannot directly go into the state of no silence. We have to begin compulsorily with Vaka Samyama. So, people who also go for practices like Vipassana, mandatorily, the Buddhist scriptures say that you have to prepare yourself for the practice of Vipassana also. And it is similar. How do you prepare? Vak Samyama, then Vang Mauna, then the Kashta or Koshta Mauna, and then you move towards Akara, complete Mauna. And Mauna is also Tapa. Under which category are we seeing silence? Great Tapa. Silence itself is great Tapa. So what was the first Tapa? Dvanda Sahanam. Second,
Mauna.
Kashta Mauna and Akara Mauna. Two types of Mauna discussed in the Yoga Sutra. Comment. Let's see the third. Vratani chaiva yatha yogam kruchandrayana santaptapanadini. Third type of tapa is vrata, fasting. Third category under tapa is vratahas or fasting. Now under vrata also make two categories. Sutra says Krichandrayana and Santa Apadan iti. Write it Santan Apadan iti. Or if you're not able to remember the terms, I will explain in English. You simply write that. So what is this Krichandrayana? 1 month fast. How do you do this fast? What is the correct way of fasting mentioned in? So you go fasting as per the moon cycle. Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. In Shukla Paksha, that is when the moon starts rising and rising. What do we see here? You start eating kukutandena, that is food portion that is equal to the size of a egg of a hen. That much portion you eat on the first day. Second day you double it, the portion. Third day you triple it until you reach 15 times of the food of the first portion. On the 16th day, reduce it again until you reach the stage of the first. What is the correct way of vrata or fasting in tapaha? As mentioned in the Yoga Sutras, Krichandrayana. Even if you're not able to pronounce, Krich double H, Krich Andrayana. What is this? Depending on the moon cycle. Chandrayana, depending on the moon cycle, you fast. So you don't suddenly not eat for 1 day. If you're taking a glass of milk, how will you take? 15 glasses. It will be very much. So you start with half cup of milk. And you slowly increase the quantity. Remember, the ingredient must be 1. So if you're eating a fruit, for example, in fast, in this way, Krichandrayana, this is one method of fasting. As per the Yoga Sutras, what is this? You begin with 1 apple. On the 15th day, you have to eat 15 apples compulsorily. And then you again go on reducing it. This is also known as vrata. This also falls under the category of fast. Any plant-based, care must be taken. Whatever you're eating is organic. It is plant-based, available in the forest. And what is second kind? Santapanadini, which means in 1 month known as Jeshta Masa. Jyeshtha Masa, Jyeshtha month, the month of Jyeshtha, Jyeshtha, Jyeshtha. Ashtau graso munera bhakshanam. From all the sides, what do? You have fire around you in a circle, and inside you are doing a Vedic fire ceremony. So slightly farther away, in the month which is already very hot, what do? You have, yes, you create a fire, and inside also you are doing a Vedic fire ceremony, and in between both the fires you are sitting. The heat is tremendous. They are far, you are safe. But that stage where the mind is extremely in the moment of crisis, fire closely, you're trapped in the fire, in the Vedic fire. That is also tapaha. So you will see in the ancient times, the rishis, the yogis, calling the yajna as tapaha. Because their body was really very, very warm, that they had to endure the heat, the tapaha. This is the second kind of vrata mentioned. So fire ceremony is also tapaha. How you feel when you offer oblations for 15 minutes also, you feel the warmth. Imagine there are oblations around you also, behind you, in a circle, and within you, in front of you also. It is very, very... So, tapaha we will see again in these three categories. Tell me the three categories of tapaha.
Like pranic, manasic.
First, yes, pranic. First is dvanda sahanam. Am I audible?
Jiggle.
Yes, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Just a bit
Yes.
lag, but yeah, we can
First
hear you.
category, first category, dvanda sahanam of tapaha under the niyamas. Second category of tapaha,
Sitting in silence.
mauna, silence. Under mauna, we saw two types of mauna. Which were those?
Absolute no action and with action.
Kashta mauna and akara mauna. But for preparation of kashta mauna and akara mauna, vak samyama. You begin with vak samyama. So first two are preparatory, and the last two are the actual mauna vrata. So mauna also comes under the tapaha. And third category under tapaha we saw was
Vrata.
vrata. And we discussed vrata system as per Yoga Sutras. What is the concept of fasting as directly mentioned in the Yoga Sutras for a yogi? Any questions here? You may ask, then we progress.
Ma'am, what's the significance of Vrat? Like why one has to go in fasting? And I understand it's synchronized with moon because it grows and reduces. So, but why one has to be on fast?
When the body is light, only then you can meditate. Yes. So when only water is present, what do you need to experience energy? Water is needed. Water absorbs all the energy. So when the water content in the body is very high, you actually see a shift in energy. But if the food, that means the grossness, the tamas is there, it is very difficult. So what do the yogis do? They do a water fast. The availability, the hydration in the body is at its peak. Therefore, it's easy to understand the movement of energy during meditation. For meditation, there is tapa, no other reason. purely for meditation. Let's see. Swadhyayah moksha shastranam adhyayanam pranavajapo va. And then next, what is Swadhyaya? We saw Shaucha, Santosha, Tapa. What is next?
Swadhyaya.
Swadhyaya. So what does the Yoga Sutra say? What is the definition of Swadhyaya in Yoga Sutra? There are two kinds. Moksha Shastranam Adhyayanam, which we are doing right now. That is Swadhyaya. And second, Pranava Japova. Meditation on the mantra Om. Both of these are pure Swadhyaya. Why mantra Om? Because this is not a tantric mantra. You're not trying to obtain anything out of the mantra. It's not a mantra chant for health and sickness. It's a pure mantra as an instrument to attain the state of Kaivalya through Samadhi in Ishvara Pranidhana. So as per the Yoga Sutras, the definition of Swadhyaya is Moksha Shastra Adhyayanam. That is known as Swadhyaya. Each time you study a Moksha Shastra. How many Moksha Shastra we have? In Astika Darshan, 6 Moksha Shastra. Sankhya independently Moksha Shastra. All of them guarantee moksha. The goal of all these 6 is moksha. And also the Nastika philosophy, they also talk about moksha. But we take the Astika philosophy. Why? Because the practice of yoga is Astika philosophy. Yoga philosophy is Astika. So, in Swadhyaya, Moksha Shastra Grahanam, Adhyayanam, Pranava Japova is very, very important. Only then you can say, I did Swadhyaya today. I did the Shravana of the Moksha Shastra, or I did my Japamala of Om. Therefore, both are required. One Japamala at least. We began when we discussed in the first chapter, we said that yes, we will be into the sadhana of doing at least one Japamala every day of the mantra Om pure, nothing adding to it. Wholesome chanting, either loudly, that is Vaikhiri, Upamshu, murmur, or Manasik Japa, that is mental japa. Progressing on to it. The final one, Ishvara Pranidhanam, Tasmin Paramagurau, Sarva Karma Arpanam. Already discussed, though still Ishvara Pranidhana comes for whom now? A seeker who's just being initiated into yoga. It's for Yoga Rudha also, and again mentioned for Yoga Ruksha. And how it is mentioned? Not as a direct instrument to attain moksha, but it comes under the niyamas. Because the seeker is not strong to use this instrument directly to attain Kaivalya through the state of Samadhi. So it comes as a regular daily smaller practice. Here Ishvara Pranidhana comes as a method to rise above one's own glory. We always feel we are perfect. We are all powerful. So Ishvara Pranidhana in Niyama, what is the prayojana? To understand there is a creator who is more powerful than me. There is a guru who is helping me understand I also have some darkness which I have to overcome. And how does it make us feel? Humble. So to bring about this humbleness in a seeker who is not even begun the practice of asanas, Ishvara Pranidhana is mentioned here, but in a slightly different context. And to whom Ishvara Pranidhana? Tasmin Paramagurau Sarvakarma Arpanam. First, forget God. See your Guru. You see your Guru every day, right? So in the Gurukulam, offer everything to your Guru. You cannot see God, but you can see your. So in Ishvara Pranidhanam, Tasmin Guru, your Guru, take that as Ishvara Pranidhana. Learn to surrender there first, and then you finally see the Guru as a Tattva, not in its gross form, but it's subtle energy that is guiding you. And then you eventually move towards Ishvara Pranidhana when you become a Yoga Rudha. Take a moment to grasp this. I hope this has been understood. We have something to share?
Guruji, this grossness itself is just so, like, it's just boring. I find it's I find that it's necessary, etc. But I don't know. I have nothing else to add to it.
As I mentioned earlier in the Sanskritam class, Guruji, the Grahastha Ashram, in Grahastha Ashram, we are preparing for sannyasa. So how does it matter? Where are you heading? Even if you are presently in Grahastha, where are you heading and how are you preparing yourself for? For sannyasa ashram. Even if it is boring, we still have to do our karma yoga. Because in the ashram, you will be sent to places taking care of unknown children, taking care of people in different ways. You will not know what each day brings. And you will say, oh, I was initiated in sannyasa order to do my sadhana, but I end up doing a lot of volunteering work. I might as well do this volunteering work for my family. So now you are preparing for sannyasa by doing volunteering work for the family. So we are in sannyasa, but we are heading towards and preparing for moksha. Thank you for sharing it very honestly as it comes. Ji, Hitesh, yes.
So this happened last week. We went to Shankaracharya Mutt in Kanchita and got to meet the Swamiji there. So this happened after the satsang. There was this person who came up to me and she was so confused why this Shankaracharya is being worshipped. He seems just normal. So that made me, I understand where she's coming from. For them, a lot of humans, although they are in this path, they're so confused with the form. They can relate somewhere with the formless, but form for them is too overrated. So again, formless, they're so easily lost. It's not like they have some conviction to it, right? They are lost formless as well. So how for people in this state of mind, and Ishvara Pranidhana is really hard. What would you suggest?
Yes. Firstly, I would like to congratulate you because you took up this Ekatma Dham course, the link which I had shared, and you actually went to, the camp and you studied. You took up this experience and completed it successfully, despite obstacles. Yes. So how to answer this question? Why do I worship a form? For two reasons. One, in Bharatvarsha, sacrifice is worshipped the most. What is worshipped? Sacrifice. What is the highest human value? Sacrifice. And second, whenever you are worshipping on a form of a guru, you take that person as an ideal human. Ideal human means better than other people. How better? Not in artha and kama. Not doing something for oneself but for others. So take that value of selflessness first. See the value in the person, what you're respecting. It's not the form. It's the journey of the person, what that person is becoming day by day. So we give them two reasons. One is sacrifice. And second, upholding highest human values. Means their existence not causing any kind of suffering to any being in any way. But again, a care should be taken here. Guru is different and Babas could be very different. In Bharat Varsha, as per each vasana, as per your tendency, you will find all categories of spiritual seeker. Okay. So even in the saffron robes, you must be able to identify very clearly. If there is Artha and Kama, no, not for you. So as per our tendencies, as per our vasanas, under the umbrella of spirituality also, we will find numerous categories. From a local people, person, Babas worshipped in different ways, to yogis, to sannyasis, to greatest acharyas who people don't even know about. So as our vasana is, similarly we are connected. So you can always share with them that they have to only take the care to see first if this person who upholds the highest human values, and second, is there an element of sacrifice? Especially if they are wearing saffron robes, it means fire. What is the meaning of the color saffron? Fire. And what is this fire? They are wearing the fire they're in the samsara. They're bearing the heat of samsara, not limited to only their family, but everywhere, overall. And while being on a spiritual path, it's more difficult. When you never knew about Rishikesh, it was easier to be with the family. But once you go to Rishikesh and you come back, it's very difficult. Yet still, the liberated ones like Swami Shivananda, like Ramana Maharshi, all of these greatest yogis were in the society, very much in the society. So you can definitely share this across with them. That Saguna, Dhyana will be more better. In Nirguna, she will be lost or he will be lost. But in Saguna Dhyana, they will have something to trust and hold on. All right. With this, let's see. One ukti is given here. One verse on Ishvara Pranidhana. Shayyasane sthota pathi vrajjananva swasthya parikshina vitarka jalaha samsara bija kshayamikshamaanaha syannitya mukto amruta bhoga bhagi yatreda ukta. This ukti is written in the Patanjali Yoga Darshan. What does this say? That with Ishvara Pranidhana, obstacles between moksha are removed. Even if you don't take efforts to attain moksha or liberation, what does Ishvara Pranidhana do? Remove the obstacles. Towards whom you are doing Ishvara Pranidhana? First we said, if it's Sagun, towards the Guru. What is the Guru doing? Removing the obstacles. In Bhakti Yoga, which is completely dependent on Ishvara Pranidhana, what do we see? Removal of obstacles also is a step closer to moksha without taking efforts. Therefore, this ukti or this shloka here mentioned in the Yoga Sutras says Ishvara Pranidhana, puts Ishvara Pranidhana on a higher pedestal than the other yama and niyams, as a means to remove obstacles. A guru may remove these obstacles, or a deity may remove the obstacles. So when we study Hiteshji, you recall the science of mantras, we saw the mantra also has a deity and a form and energy, Shakti and Bij and so on. So all of these remove, the deity removes the deity of the mantra appears. And what is the role of the deity? For you to attain the goal of mantra, the deity simply starts removing the obstacles on your path. Therefore, Ishvara Pranidhana, the paragraph, the sutra ends here with Ishvara Pranidhana. The one who removes the obstacles, Antaray ko nikalne wale. To negate and neglect. What does the Guru teach us? To negate and to neglect both. And these become very crucial in removal of obstacles on the path of yoga. With this, we conclude yama and niyamas. Very, very important, specifically tapa. Observe. If you have any questions, you may ask. Remember, but in Kaushtha what has been mentioned? Sthanasane. You don't have to move also. When you're writing, that is fine, you're on one place, but you have to be in Mona on one place. You cannot be a traveling yogi and being in Mona. That is it's very much not allowed. You can write only, but you cannot move. You have to be in the same place, same asana, in steadiness. This was about yama and niyamas. I hope they are very well followed by us, and there is much more clarity on what is vrata, what is fasting, what actually falls under tapa as per the Yoga Sutras. When we say the yogis are doing tapa, means exactly what are they doing. Tomorrow, we shall progress on to the next sutras. We conclude here. Bring your palms together at the heart center. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gently bow your head down. Feel grateful for this learning. Thanks, Sage Patanjali, for his grace upon all of us. When you're ready, gently lift your head up. Open your eyes, extend your hands. Namo Namaha. Hare Om. We meet again tomorrow.